Key. I'm the division president for Asset Living in the East. So I sit in Atlanta and oversee our East Coast operations from New York to Miami over to Louisiana. Major shifts in property management and build to rent. There's been a ton in the last 20 to 25 years for sure. I would say overall, the biggest shift that happened 10, 12 years ago was the shift of us becoming not just a housing provider, but a hospitality industry. That we're more focused on customer service and hospitality and competing with that sector than we ever have before. But then fast forward to the last 5 or 6 years with the growth of build to rent and the way we're providing a different type of housing for residents that was never available before. And now we can truly service everyone, regardless of where they are in their life cycle, whether they're trying to be in an apartment, in a single family home, we can truly provide something for everyone. If you look at key factors to evaluate when you're looking to invest or looking to buy, there's a few different things. You want to look at the growth potential of the market, meaning how are people migrating into that space? What is the population growth and where is that population growth happening? You want to make sure it is happening around sectors of industry that are sustainable, not sectors that are going to be drastically impacted by a recession. If you think about, I'm just going to say Atlanta, because Atlanta's a big one for me, right? Atlanta in 2008 had such a hard time recovering because so much of our growth in the years around that had been in construction and had been in tourism. Those don't survive a recession. But when you see growth markers such as healthcare or IT, anything of that sector, those are going to stand the test of time. So those people won't be as susceptible to job loss when there's a downturn in an economy. So looking at where your growth markers are, looking to see where your schools are is a huge one. If you have good school markers, that usually shows more sustainability. For me, when you're looking at where to invest, the key drivers are your economic drivers and really making sure you're finding sustainability in those markers. So technology for enhancing operations and satisfaction are huge. If you are not adopting technology today, you will be left behind. Technology is no longer a perk or an option, it is a necessity. The reason for it, a lot of the drivers have to do with either the residents or the owners, the clients. They all have an appetite for immediate information and they want it right away. So without technology, we cannot operate that fast. So from servicing owners and investors and clients, it gives us so much information at our fingertips. It analyzes that data for us. It gives us predictive information so that we can be better proactive operators. From a resident standpoint, the resident satisfaction is the same thing. They no longer have to customize their life around us. They don't have to contact us when we're open. They don't have to come to us when there's somebody sitting at the office. They can reach out at any time with any question. And through technology, we can provide them very comprehensive answers, not just, thank you for your message and we'll get back to you. Because then they may not be operating at the same time we are. I talked about hospitality and healthcare and those situations. With healthcare, they're often sleeping when we're working. So if we expect them to only contact us during working hours, we're never servicing that resident. Being a past president of the Georgia chapter of IREM, it absolutely influenced how I am as a leader. IREM, outside of a lot of other industry associations, is unique to me because it's comprehensive. It's not just multifamily, it's not just commercial or industrial, it is all facets of real estate. So for me, IREM gave me a more holistic approach to real estate and truly understanding how all the sectors work together and how trends in each sector can forecast or predict what's about to happen in multifamily. And then take it beyond that, and IREM is global. So it gave me exposure to leaders in other nations, leaders that were just starting to form multifamily or real estate associations in different countries, having an active role in helping England build their first apartment association. So there was so much that it exposed me to and gave me insight into that working just in multifamily, I never had the experience to do before. Yeah, Yeah, so that is a great question on how policy is going to impact what we do in the BTR space and how we can recommend for people to adapt to overcome that. I wish I had a crystal ball and I wish I could say exactly what we're going to do. What I will say is multifamily as a whole, we were a huge supporter of the Affordable Housing Act. We were one of the ones that helped it get to where it is today. So to see this pop up at the 11th hour and add the verbiage around SFR is very upsetting for all of us. So I will say this, we are all doing our part at the local and national levels to lobby in every way we can, and then advocate is actually next week where we will all be on the Hill advocating for this right as well. I'm optimistic that, I'm hopeful, I'll say optimistic, but hopeful that once they hear from all of us, there will be a realization of someone to say, okay, we did not mean for the verbiage to be this way. Similar to what happened in Colorado around how they're doing water billing and RUBS and everything else. When we lobbied in Colorado, they actually stepped back and they're like, wait, that's not what we intended. And there's going to be change hopefully coming soon in Colorado from that. So I'm hopeful we can get in front of it before it passes. I would say to the developers today, I wouldn't go pencils down until you know you have to. I do feel that we should be able to get some difference made to where we can continue to move forward. But if not, I think we just have to look at, there's a lot of hybrid BTR out there now, right? Like there's a component of multifamily and then there's the townhome component. Those have not had any legislation posed against them. So maybe it's looking at it from a different lens of, okay, what does define as the true BTR and where is the line that kind of gives us that lens of how we can curve around it. But like I said, I'm optimistic that hopefully things will turn before it passes.